Hey, this is James Wallace with the Dallas International Film Festival, and I'm here with director Je-kyu Is that yes? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I got that right. And he's the director of My Way, which is one of the festival's centerpiece screenings. First time in Texas, and we are very honored to have you here. So, when did you first kind of discover this true story of these two brothers? These
이 영화 얘기를 언제 발견을 하셨죠?
꽤 됐죠. 한
I came across the story about
처음
5 or 6 years ago, and it was actually in the form of a script already from which Warner Brothers had given to me when I was looking to do something here in the U.S. But I wasn't quite so sure about the movie. Then, because of this, the nature of the incident was so unique, or there was a documentary made on it in Korea. And when I saw that documentary, and that was about 4 years ago, I thought, I really do need to tell this story.
The film is the most expensive film ever made in Korea, and it's a war film, and it's got these grand set pieces, and you know, landing on the beach in Normandy and all these different battles. How does that kind of feel to know that you have this achievement where you've made the most expensive film? And did you ever, you know, want to make a war film? This is now your fourth film, and a war film, I would imagine, is a huge undertaking as a director.
이 영화가 제작비가 한국 역사상 최고이며, 그다음에 특히 전쟁 영화로서 굉장히 규모가 크고 노르망디 씬 같은 것이 굉장히 큰데, 그 전쟁 영화를 만든 그 자체에 대해서, 그리고 이렇게 큰 규모의 역사적인 규모의 영화를 만든 거에 대해서 소감이 어떠세요? So of course it was an honor to do this, and I wondered, am I going to have the opportunity to do something like this again? It was such a massive scale, and so that was wonderful. And yet, when we were on the set, we know that it's the largest budget, but we felt like we were shooting a low-budget blockbuster. There were so many things that we wanted to do, and in order to tell that story, we kind of tried to make it as efficient and tighten it up as much as possible, reducing things like our food budget, for instance. So, our joke was we're making a low-budget film here.
What would you say, making a war film and making something this epic, what would you say the biggest challenges were as a filmmaker?
글쎄요. 일단 뭐 특히 이제 마이웨이 같은 경우는
Just in terms of making a war film, I mean, this film covers 3 different battlefronts: the Normandy, the
노르망디 같은 경우에는 이제
the German and the Russian War, as well as the battle at front at Nomonhan. Now, Normandy itself has been covered quite a bit, but the other 2 battles are hardly ever known, or have hardly ever been known or seen on film. And so to do that was a huge challenge, and to make it historically accurate, but really kind of get the tenor of the time. But it was also a great opportunity to show something totally new that people hadn't seen before.
And one of the most, this is the Texas premiere of the film tonight, and one of the most interesting things I think is we're so used to seeing war films from our perspective, and so to see a war film from the other side, especially since it's the German side, yet these two friends are from Korea, they're not even necessarily fighting for the Germans in the traditional sense. How do you think that the viewing experience differs for an American audience?
우리는 많은 경우에 미국 시각에서만 전쟁 영화를 봤고, 특히 이 영화에서는 그 두 군인이 뭐 한국 사람하고 일본 사람이긴 하지만은 독일 전선에서 이렇게 바라보는 시점이잖아요. 미국의 관객이 어떻게 이거를 새로이 느끼거나 뭐 봤을 때 어떤 느낌이 날 것 같아요?
그러니까 분명히 어쨌든 그동안에 미군이
As you mentioned, I mean, we've seen mostly things from the U.S. side, but or from the perspective of a U.S. soldier. And in this case, even though Germany was the aggressor in the war, at that particular battle, they were the ones waiting, and it was the U.S. Army that was going to come in and attack. And so, rather, instead of being the subject or the protagonist, being the object of this, I think is probably a new perspective and something that people might find very different to see.
One of the things that I find so interesting about My Way is that, and we've seen World War II on screen, big and small, and we think that we've, kind of relived the horror as much as possible without being there, which it really still falls short. But one of the things about My Way is that the kind of death and violence of war is it's shown in a very slow way. You really get it, almost in a way that we've never seen on screen before. Was that one of the things that was very important for you to show in making the film?
우리가 2차 대전 영화도 굉장히 많이 봤고 특히나 우리가 그 직접 경험을 못했지만 하도 많이 봤기 때문에 다 아는 것 같은데도 이 영화를 봤을 때는 전쟁의 잔인함과 그 악독함을 처음으로 보는 듯한 그런 것도 있었어요. 근데 감독님께서는 그런 것을 묘사하는 것을 중요하게 생각하셨었나요?
글쎄요, 이제 전쟁을 어떻게 보여줄 건가의 문제인 것 같아요. 그러니까 뭐 노무난 또는 독서전, 그다음 노르망디
I
이런 부분들이
I thought about
역사적으로
a lot about
보여줄
how
때요.
to show or portray a war. I think a lot of times in war movies, a war is either beautified or made aesthetically pleasing or just made taken to some extreme level. But I really wanted to contemplate the basic nature of war. And if I think of of all the human acts that we take, that war is the most cruel and inhumane action that we have taken. So and that was something, that basic nature of war was something that I wanted to have come across on screen.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for bringing your film to Texas. And again, the film plays at the festival tonight as the centerpiece screening, and then it plays again. So you'll definitely have a chance to see it and surely check it out. Thank you guys again. Thank you.
감사합니다.
Thank you.